Hey guys, it's Unfairly back here with some more Marathon PvP content. Today we're going to be going through a full solo run, kind of giving you guys the ideas and my thoughts behind all of my actions and my intentions in the game. Just kind of get you guys a little bit more acquainted with doing these solo runs. I know day one of the server slam yesterday, I was running around and it seems like there's a lot of people who were kind of running around really almost flopping like fish, for a lack of a better word. So I kind of want to get you guys some real basics to implement into your gameplay so you guys have more success on runs, and you know, we kind of avoid the general dismay that I've seen amongst all the positive comments on social media. It's something that people really are not having the best time with, the instant skill learning curve that really starts as soon as you begin the game. So I'm going to try to get you guys a few tips that make everything a little bit more smooth, and hopefully we'll get some loot and extract. Again, this is going to be a shorter but action-packed run, and you'll see why we have to get out when we do here. I also just want to mention I'm going to start a Discord where I can chat with you guys, answer your questions, and review your clips in depth on a one-on-one basis. I'm going to be having that Discord link probably posted in the bio, and the links to the videos probably by the end of the weekend. So if you guys want to come chill out, got any questions, I'd be happy to help you. So here we're jumping into perimeter. It's going to be the first map that you guys hop into. I have some decent loot on me: blue shield, sniper, blue AR. I kind of was looking to get a higher kill run, just to show you guys kind of the flow of how we enter and exit combat and the method in which we take fights. So here you're going to spawn. The one thing, again, that we've covered in the previous videos is that once you go through a few of these games, you're going to learn kind of where the fixed spawn points are. And so spawning here in this corner near North Relay, I'm going to know that there's people that are probably in the point of interest next to me. So I'm going to be very careful and just kind of feel out the game. Make sure that I'm not running off the bat. You'll see that I'm a very much a walker and a croucher, just because you can't hear anything when you're running. You can't hear other people's footsteps. So even when you are running, it's always good to just stop, put away your knife, take out your gun, and look around and listen. Just walk for a few seconds. So here, we hear the footsteps. I'm not going to take the shot instantly because, again, what we've talked about, you want to ensure that if you have the jump on someone, this fight is going to end as fast as possible. It's not going to drag out. The enemy is not going to run away, and we're not going to be shooting back and forth for a long time, attracting attentions and potential third parties. So trigger discipline is super, super important. We're going to wait until we have almost a guaranteed fast kill here. Even though some of the snipers have a pretty nice rate of fire, I still have kind of the muscle memory from Halo and kind of Fortnite, where you automatically switch to your secondary once you take a snipe, just to follow it up like you saw for that first clip, in the event that I didn't get a headshot, or if they had more shield than a headshot would take them out in one shot with. And so just like we talked about in the other videos, I'm not going to run straight into the POI and get into the entangled innards of such a thing. I'm always going to be someone who rotates around a POI and gets the most information possible before really committing to getting into somewhere where you have no idea if there's people or what the situation really is. You want to have the best statistical chance of coming out alive, so the best way to do that is to gather as much information as you can before fully committing to moving into a POI or a fight. So I didn't go into that other POI just because I knew that the one person who's probably spawned there, that was him. I mean, they're not going to cluster you very, very much. Sometimes you'll be close, like off the rip, like I was with that one person. However, it's kind of something you can tell that there's no other spawn points really close to that. So I'm going to try to go into this North Relay the opposite way, just to see if I can catch another spawn point, or an area where someone else likely would have spawned, because I know that that person wasn't there and I know where I spawned. So this is the next open kind of place to keep your head open about. And so we hear our audio cues. Once again, we hear an AI get triggered, and then we start to hear the rumbling, the shooting, noise. So we're going to approach this extremely cautiously. We're not rushing. We're not making any audio cues of our own. And we know that, again, Bungie has a ton of movement, and this is a vertical game. You don't have to open up this door and make sound and alert everyone to your position that you're coming into this fight. We're going to do the smart thing and use the jump up here. No glass broken, no door opening sounds, just jump and clamber. And we're even going to go the extra mile to make sure that when we run, jump, and clamber onto this ledge, it's going to be under the cover of shooting, whether it be the AI or that enemy. So he's making sound where he 100% cannot hear what I'm doing and coming closer to him. So you hear the shooting. I'm going to be moving a little bit faster. The shooting stops. I instantly match that flow. Again, trigger discipline. If I can't kill him right then and there in a second, I'm going to wait for a better opportunity. I have time. Beautiful. Caught off guard. And if I shot him off the rip, he may have ran down any one of these hallways and got lost, healed up, and then it's right back to a 50-50 engagement again. You want to make sure that the chance of you winning the fight is always tilted statistically in your favor. Whether that means crouching, going in slow, making no noise, being a rat, however you have to do it, the last thing you want to do is take a 50-50 coin flip fight where either you can win or the other person can win. You need to work your advantages consistently. And so you'll see that, again, like I was saying, it's kind of a shorter run. We start to get our backpack very, very full here. We came in with a blue shield. We got 2 blue shields and a blue backpack, another sniper. This is screaming to me, get the heck out. So I'm going to play that accordingly, but just, of course, for the video, I was trying to get a few more kills here, so I'll have a look around. But this is, when you get to this point, when you have no more space, you're almost getting to the point of being combat ineffective. So even though it's the spawn points, or the exfil points, I should say, haven't even spawned yet. We have about 36 more seconds until they do so, since they spawn in 20 minutes even. I'm going to kind of play it slow here and wait to see where these random exfil points spawn, so I can make the best decision on my route to get there efficiently and without the least chance really of any sort of AI shooting or contact with another player with all of this loot on me. You want to play 8 times more ratty when you are filled with loot. You want to play very passive. Don't necessarily want to be taking fights, because not only will you potentially lose your loadout that you came in with, you're losing basically 2 kills worth of loot. So you can see that the exfil spawn, it's going to be right at the POI I killed that first person at. So again, look, we're not just sprinting, running over there, no care in the world. We're being very cautious. And I made it a point to really say that when you're not kind of in the innards of the map or near a POI, when you're on the outskirts like this, where there's absolutely nothing around you, this is the point where I say it is safe to pull out your knife and make a beeline for wherever you're going. Use your sprint, use the knife out. Statistically, you are totally away from people. You're on the outskirts of the map, not near a POI. And so that's the best time that you're going to want to use that knife and kind of move as fast as possible from point A to point B. But again, look, when we come back into the POI, we're doing the same thing. We slow down, no running. We pull out our weapon. We're looking around. We're listening. Listening for any audio cues. Again, the big ones: footsteps, doors opening, AI arousement or engagement. And there it is. You hear a shot, and I can hear that he's fighting AI. So I see him. I know I have so much loot in my inventory, and I'm really headed to the exfil point where this kid is here. And so instead of really going over to the exfil and turning it on and alerting this person that I'm there and looking to leave, I'm going to take kind of the educated risk to see if I can get a headshot snipe and push him, just to eliminate the threat, and so I'll be able to be left alone and take that exfil with less problems. And so just because I can't get a good shot at first, I'm not going to stand there and just hard scope in on him out in the open. I'm going to keep moving towards him. Not rushing him, not making any sound, but moving very slow. One kind of part at a time. Again, crosshair placement. Putting my crosshair where I think someone would be. Whether they come out of that door, whether they are in that window. It just allows you to be more ready to win an engagement where you may be surprised or may not get the first shot. You don't want to just be looking at the ground, kind of using your screen to look around with your crosshair placed on the ground. You want to be having this crosshair in places where you know that maybe the upper part of the hitbox of a player would be, just to ensure that you'll at least get a couple headshots and maybe turn the fight around in your advantage. So here, I'm going to try to go downstairs. I really don't know what else is in this POI, so I really don't care to go down the stairs and check everything out, fight through the AI. And this is actually the same place that we looked at in one of my previous videos where we talked about kind of the movement and the sneakies. So I'm going to go out this window, sit on this little ledge here, and instead of taking fall damage, I'm going to sprint jump and clamber and take no fall damage. Whether you need to use that to not take fall damage, whether you use that to get onto height to take a look at people, or whether you use that to get a position where you can get a better shot or a first shot and surprise on someone. The high ground and the verticality of this game is always something you're going to want to think about. You always want to be thinking about in your head, what can I clamber on? What can I grapple on? What can I climb up? And what's the highest point around me that I can get to? You always want to keep that in your head because it's going to be something that you use very consistently. Here, this is a kind of a funny spot that I've known throughout the tests where it actually doesn't work on the one above me, but the one in front of me. You can kind of... It works sometimes this way, but this is the easier way. Kind of just hop up here. Real safe. No sight lines. So we're just kind of waiting for the exfil to charge up. It takes about maybe 45 seconds to a minute to really get to where you want it to be. It'll give you some audio cues, but you will know that it is ready to go when it gives you kind of a little chime and the holographic circle spawns in. And once again, this is a solo, so as soon as we get into it, it's going to be 10-second countdown. However, if you're in a trios or a duos or something like that, as long as all teammates that are alive are in that circle, it's going to cut down from the standard 30 seconds down to 10 seconds, and you'll get out a lot faster. So here I jumped it a little bit early, but I do have the invisibility cloud smoke. Something I kind of also do that's a bit nitpicky and kind of random, but I don't stand in this circle in the center or near that kind of exfil pylon when I'm leaving. Even though I'm invisible in smoke, you see how I kind of back up towards a corner here, and I'm right on the edge. My hitbox is almost half in and half out, where I'm still triggering and allowing myself to exfil, but I'm not going to statistically get hit as hard by maybe if someone spams 3 grenades into there trying to get a quick kill before you exfil. I'm going to be sitting here with my back towards the edge with the most sightline that I can, assuming that someone runs into that smoke or you don't have any sort of smoke at all. And of course, if you don't have any smoke at all, you can always play your hitbox and the angles using the actual exfil kind of tower to maneuver around. But again, when you're exfilling at any point, you know that it's going to shoot that big beam in the air, it's going to make the alarm, and all 4 corners of the map are going to know that someone is trying to get out right here and now. So if there's people who are looking to maybe get out with you, if there's not a lot of exfils left, or if they're just aggressive players, that's something that you should expect someone to come to you every single time, and you want to take the utmost precautions to ensure that you get out with your full bank loot and get into the next run with more than you had at the beginning of this one. And so yeah, that's the end of our short run. We had a couple of kills, just kind of giving you guys my mindset and thoughts behind how you should play in the flow of the game. Thank you guys once again for your support. I really appreciate it so much more than you all know. If you want to connect, I'm unfairly with 2Ys on Twitter or X, and I'm unfairly in the Marathon Discord. And once again, I'm going to be starting a Discord where we can talk and answer questions and review your clips individually in depth. That Discord link is going to be probably done by the end of this weekend, and you will see that posted on my YouTube channel, as well as the descriptions of the videos. So thank you guys again. I hope you guys have a great Server Slam. A ton more videos to come. The next one's probably going to be my thoughts, kind of the same format behind actually trio matches. So we'll be reviewing a few trio matches that I played. And yeah, I should have that probably by the end of the weekend or early next week. And I can't wait to see you guys out there. I hope you have an excellent rest of your service, Lamb.